Alright, welcome back to Women's Strength and Bodybuilding, where we highlight beautiful and talented women who compete. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Mark, and if you'd like to help support what I do, consider becoming a patron on my new Patreon page, link in the description. So let's jump in. If you think about it, women's bodybuilding is kind of a dichotomy. On one hand, you have women who traditionally represent the non-dominant gender, and on the other, you see some of them attain the biggest, strongest, and most muscular physiques, many of which the majority of men couldn't achieve an entire lifetime's worth of work. There's also a degree of pageantry associated with it as well. For one night, these women diet down and glam up. The makeup, the tan, the hair, the outfit, everything in an attempt to stand out on stage and hopefully improve their placings to advance their careers. You know what couldn't be further from attending a bodybuilding show where oiled up muscular women in swimsuits are flexing on stage? Going to church. That's why today's video is about Pastor Candy Canary. Candy is another mass monster from the mid-2000s era of women's bodybuilding that brought incredible size and shape. Her overall look was truly something to behold. It was almost as if she had the look of a 2000s era pop star and a body any action star of the time would envy. I'm specifically talking about her appearance at the 2006 NPC USA Championships. I know most of you guys have probably already seen this one, but just in case you haven't, head over to the USA Muscle Women's YouTube channel and be sure to check this one out. She looks absolutely insane in these backstage pump room videos. Look at this guy in the background. His eyes are literally popping out of his head. He can't believe what he's seeing right now. And I couldn't either the first time I saw it. What's even more unbelievable is this appearance of hers was only good enough for 7th place. 7th place? So not even top 5. My only thought is that the competition was just way too fierce in the heavyweight division. I mean, you take a look at the top 2, with Heather Armbrust winning 1st in overall, and Michelle Neal, who is a doctor by the way, winning 2nd. So I guess when you take that into account, it's more understandable. Look at that. A pastor and a doctor hanging out backstage taking photos of each other flexing. You don't see that every day. So yeah, you can see Pastor Candy pictured here with Dr. Michelle Neal. And when you see them side by side, it looks like maybe Candy's legs didn't have quite as much size, which might have hurt her placings. So if the size wasn't there to begin with, then forget about it when it comes to separation and conditioning in the quads, hams, and calves, because Heather Armbrust was in her prime here, and she had some of the diciest legs of that whole era. Side note, Heather is still in great shape, and you can find her on IG if you're feeling bold and adventurous. But out of all these ladies, I guess I'd have to say that Candy was just more my type. I have to admit I'm a sucker for the pretty ones, regardless if they aren't the most conditioned on stage. I think Heather, Michelle, Sheila, and the rest of the top 6 brought a much harder and rugged look, while Candy did an incredible job of showcasing a beautiful and feminine look. And when you combine that with her monstrous shoulders, traps, and chest, woo! The next year in 2007, she competed in the same show and improved her placing to 4th, though it wasn't my favorite appearance of hers like the 2006 one was. Maybe she saw that the bigger, more cut-up women were placing higher and shifted her strategy to be more about size as opposed to beauty. But I mean, if you asked me to choose between 2006 Candy Canary and 2006 Sheila Black, I'd choose Candy 10 times out of 10. There's not too many other shows that Candy competed in that I can find. Her first show was the 2004 Lone Star Classic, where she said she took last place out of 3 competitors. That's one way of looking at it, but I mean, she did also place 3rd, so she viewed it as an eye-opening experience, where she was able to learn more about dieting and getting the water out of her physique. Candy is from Oklahoma. She's half Cherokee Indian, and she started lifting weights at 15 years old. She did track and cross country in high school. Side note, I found it funny that one of the prettiest competitors from the 2000s NPC era wasn't a cheerleader, unlike so many other Miss Olympia contenders we've looked at on this channel. She said her dad always wanted a boy, and since she was an only child, she wanted to make it up to him by joining the military. The day after graduating high school, she shipped out to boot camp for the Air Force, and in just 6 weeks, she was able to drastically increase her confidence and strength. Originally, she was a medic for the Air Force, and she worked her way to Air Force Reserve recruiter. She attended a lot of training while she served, including graduating from the School of Aerospace Medicine and recruiting school, so she's just as dedicated academically as she is physically. In 2004, she pursued her true passion of going to ministry school through Grace Fellowship Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In her words, Candy has always walked close to the Lord since age 11 when she was saved. She's always learned when she's made mistakes and was quick to ask for forgiveness. Candy was pretty well known worldwide for a time for being a female bodybuilding pastor. She also made the cover of The Fit Christian magazine. Could you imagine going to church and seeing a pastor who looked like this? She took great pride in being a pioneer and sharing God's word, as she puts it. She's been on several missions to far-off places like Israel and Congo, Africa. Candy was a really busy lady, all while being a bodybuilder. Her constant back-to-back traveling and crusading may have affected her contest prep, claiming she found it hard to eat enough to maintain her size, and at one point lost 30 pounds of muscle. What happened to Candy after these couple of shows in the mid to late 2000s is sort of an enigma. Some theorize that she gave up bodybuilding to focus more on her family and crusades, and others say she may have been dealing with an old injury from a car accident that caused her to walk away from competing altogether. Candy knew the importance of not throwing away her health just for a trophy, so you have to respect her for that. She still has her old website up, and it's been up for quite some time. I remember seeing her apology as to why she would be leaving the bodybuilding community, and it was a bummer to see. You can also find on her website that she enjoys spending time by herself at home, that she wants to be a positive role model, and she wants to know that she's made a difference in people's lives. Well, Candy, I can definitely tell you that you've been an inspiration in mine. Other than that, there's not too much else out there about Candy. In 2020, she resurfaced and left this comment on a blog post about her career, so it's good to know she's out there somewhere, and wherever she is, I hope she's doing well. So yeah, that's the legend of Candy Canary. Please like the video if you did in fact enjoy it. Like I said earlier, if you're a fan of this kind of content and you'd like to help support what I do, I'll leave a link to my new Patreon in the description. You can get started for just $5. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe for more great women's strength and bodybuilding content. Thanks for watching.